Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This is the Mangina Dialogues. We at it again with your host Nick Scopes and the Gregolicious. You know how we do, cause you know we keeping it gangster and silly. Unplugged like a full swung titty. Bout get jitty, cause you know we down to the nitty and the gritty. And we make shit sound so damn pretty. Yeah, cause this unhinged comedy. And right now you're in the mix, so get ready, cause we about to get it poppin'. And we ain't stopping. Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This the Mangina Dialogues.
Hello and welcome to the Mangina Dialogues. I am your host, Nick Scopes.
And I'm the Gregolicious.
And today our guest is the very funny Steph Tolev. What's up, Steph?
Thank you. Thank you for not saying very funny female comedian.
Is that what people usually say?
Just funny. You'd be surprised at how often guys will be like, "They're coming up next, a funny girl." It's still happening, and it's like I don't know when that's going to end.
Our guest today is a woman who's actually funny, Steph Tolev.
Yeah. She's a vagina, and sometimes we still laugh. Like, I don't know why that happens.
You know, it's funny. That comes up a lot. You know, we've actually talked to a lot of, now I feel like a jackass saying this, but girls lately, right? And women. And they...
Yes, I'm very offended. Girls.
I want to say that if someone said, hey, name me your favorite comedians, I think half of my list of top 5 are going to be, or top 10, let's make it a bigger list, are going to be female. It's very awesome, I think. And every time we talk to some of these female comedians who are friends of ours, they say the exact same thing. And I don't get it. Like, if you look at Netflix and all the specials coming out, I mean, the funniest ones are from you ladies.
Yes, it's very bizarre, especially like still now. Like, I literally had a guy yesterday on Tinder open up by going, "Hey, did Louis C.K. flash you?" And I was like, I'm actually going to rip out this man's eyes. Like, I don't know. That is like kind of a side note from that, but like, it's insane how many guys will be like, you know, either online or like whatever, girls aren't funny. The first comment on any video that Comedy Central has ever posted of me, the first one is women aren't funny. And then I would go through other people's like videos and see the same thing. It's crazy that it's still... Thank you for not being part of the problem.
But do you think that dudes are just saying that to be dicks?
I do. I think they're trying to be dicks. And like, when it comes ever someone on like Tinder or something, like I realize that they're probably like they think that's funny or something. But a lot of men who do it on like trolls who say stuff like that, I'm like, oh, you're just jealous that you're a fat swab that's never made anyone laugh in your whole life, and you're just jealous that, you know, people are listening to me, not you.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's insane. I really do. And I wasn't even, privy is the wrong word, but I wasn't aware that was even a thing anymore when it came to comedians or, obviously the last few years have been weird, but I look at the people we've interviewed the last couple months and it's been dominated by some of the top funniest people in the business, and they're all girls.
Yeah, because you guys make sense. It's just people who don't know comedy, or they're like, I hate female comedians. Sarah Silverman and Amy Schumer suck. I'm like, you're naming 2. Like, yeah. You've seen 2 women. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's also what it is too. When people say that women are funny, and like, I've been to so many shows. It's like, yeah, there's less women, so you're comparing us to less people.
Right.
So of course you're going to think that less of us are funny when you're seeing a show with 8 guys and 1 girl, and that 1 girl maybe didn't like her jokes. So you're like, no, women are funny.
Just
people
jealous.
Are dumb.
I get angry for no reason. Yeah, very stupid.
So what have you been doing during these Corona times to stay busy?
These Corona times. A lot of Zoom shows, which every time I say yes to them, I immediately regret it. And then I start doing them like, yeah, I shouldn't have done this. This is stupid. Because I fled back to Canada. I live in LA, but I fled back to Canada because I live in Hollywood, and it's terrifying. People just roaming around with shotguns, and it's my fault for downloading that stupid Citizen app that shows you the crime in your area. I shouldn't have gotten that right when this whole thing started. So maybe my area's always been that bad, but it really freaked me out. So I'm now 35, living with my parents again. So I'm trying to adjust. And having my mother and father as my roommates at this age, it's strange. That's a big one. I'm trying to do a lot of like online content, which I don't know why, because it's not for anybody. Like I'll spend hours. I this one stupid video of me in a shed, and I literally spent about 3 days editing it, and I got like 100 views. I'm like, why did I do this? Like, who is this for?
It's
3
for
days
you.
of my life for one retweet. I'm like, okay, good, thank you.
So since you're back at home with your parents, are you watching any home videos with your dad?
We've watched, I think all of them have been pretty filled to the brim. I'm trying to really make it on TikTok right now. I'm not going to lie. It's going pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I'm doing pretty goddamn well on TikTok, even though I'm the oldest woman on there and I'm going to be arrested for assault soon. But I keep posting stuff. For me, my sister just follow like the trend things and then try to imitate it. It's kind of embarrassing, to be really honest.
Yeah.
But that's all I do. I do Zoom videos. I drink bottles of wine, and then I think I'm funny, and I do a lot of. I'm a full prop comic now. On Zoom, I find every prop in the house. I'm wearing wigs. I'm wearing glasses. I have 2 dildos I put on. It's like I don't know how I'm going to get back to the stage if I don't have a bag of props. I don't know how it's funny anymore.
It sounds like you have the best thing going, to be honest.
I have puppets now. I'm literally Steph Dunham. Like I don't know what I'm doing, and it's so embarrassing.
Are you making
Like
your own?
I think I'm bummed. No. I randomly I left a bunch of shit when I left to come to the States. Like I didn't bring 2 puppets over the border, obviously. So now I have all this like old like sketch comedy shit that I left here, like costumes and a lot of stuff, a lot of really stupid shit. It's embarrassing. It's
sounds like
really
a
embarrassing.
good time north of the border, of our border.
Yeah, I mean, it feels much safer here. I will say that. So it's less of a worry about getting it and more of a worry of getting murdered by my parents. I think is the biggest problem.
Your secrets are safe with us.
It's really funny. Like, it's funny. Like, I tried filming this one video in front of my mom, and then it was so distracting because I just saw her at the corner of her eye watching me. And then after I finished, she's like, "Why are you like this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't want to be like this. I don't know what to tell you here, Joey."
Do you have like other siblings that are like doctors and lawyers, and you're the comedian, or what?
My sister works in the city of Toronto, but she's pretty high up, and she's getting married, and she's already bought a house, so she's doing much better than I am. So I think they just look, and then they just see me with like a wig and funny glasses on, pretending that a doll's my best friend. So it doesn't look good, you know. I look sick and sad. I look very sad.
I mean, your sister hasn't been on Comedy Central a whole bunch of times, so there's that.
No. And she is funnier than me, which is so fucking annoying too. Like I get really mad at her, but thank God she doesn't want to be a comedian. I hate those siblings that are funny and then also become comedians. That's too much for me. It should be one comedian per family.
That's it. That's what the law is up in Canada.
I'm starting a law. One comic family, and that's that.
Fair enough.
Did you get your start in Canada with comedy, or was that later on?
I did, yes. Toronto, most people don't know this, but Toronto has a comedy writing and performance program. It's 2 years. It was not a lot of money, and it doesn't do a lot at all. But I met all my really good friends from there, and that's how I met Allison, who became. I was part of an improv troupe for 4 years called the Dumb Cunts with a K. We thought we were cool, and then we changed the name because nobody wanted to put us on their flyers. Clearly, so we became Lady Stash. So yeah, I did improv, and then we molded into a 2-person sketch duo. So I started in that, and then I started stand-up after that. So in total, I've been in comedy for 17 years, and I get so fucking. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Sure.
I get so. I get so embarrassed. Like comics in LA are like, "Oh my God, I'm doing my like 3rd showcase just for laughs, and I've been doing it for like 3 years." And I'm like, I'm going to remove your vocal cords. I've been doing comedy for 17 years. When I hear these like new kids complaining, I literally lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because it's like you do it for so long here, build all the shit. Because Canadians can't come to the States unless we have enough to even apply for a green card.
Right.
So I couldn't even apply for a green card until I had been 10 years in the comedy.
Wow.
And then I started the process. That was another 3 years of me getting my shit together. when I hear fucking, oh my God, I'm doing this my first late night and it's only 2 years in the comedy. I'm like, I will not watch it and I will not share it. And I don't, because I'm a bitter piece of shit.
You know, it's funny because, the name of your first troupe with cunt in it, I always wondered that, right? Because I grew up outside New York City, and I lived in New York City for many years. And I used to always go to Tower Records downtown like 3 times a week, if not more, just to buy records, right? And the first band that you would walk in the door in Tower Records, the band's name was Anal Cunt. They were a punk band from New York City. And I would walk by that every time and say, how does this band play gigs and advertise themselves?
Yeah, I don't. I think if you're punk, it's a bit easier because they're like already edgy or, trying to be like different and stand out. But with a 4-person improv troupe, they were like, "What is this? Like, who is this for?
Who is it? You guys are crazy."
And then we weren't really that vulgar either, so it didn't make any sense. I mean, I was, but the other 3 were pretty clean. So it was like, well, this is strange.
It's ironic.
4 nice women. Well, 3 nice women and 1 pig. What the hell is this?
That's funny. So part of I saw one of your by the way, you have the best website of any comedian I think that I've come across.
Do
right?
I?
Yeah,
That is very nice. Thank you.
Because so many of them are like just suck, and they'll like post one video or one clip, and there's not really much to it besides hey, here's how you can contact me. And yours is awesome. It has basic bio, what you want to know, and then just a shit ton of hysterical clips to watch your videos. Like that's, I don't know. To me, I was like, wow, this is a great website to emulate for someone that wants to.
It's pretty simple. Like it's like a WordPress, so it's not like something that obviously was not hard to do. I wanted something that I could keep updating myself, and that was easy for me to put stuff on because I hate paying someone to do it, or it's annoying. Every 2 seconds something changes. It's very simple, but thank you. Yeah, it's very. I think it's easy to look at and easy to update, so I don't give a shit.
So one of your videos has to do with moshing, right? Like you start up. You were in a club and you're like, oh, I used to come here and I was moshing. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, that was actually Death from Above, 1979, my favorite band. If you know them, they're from Toronto, Ontario. I'm obsessed with them. It's very creepy that I'm still this old and obsessed with them. But yeah, I was at that. That was the Bill Burr special, which I also did not know they were going to air that part because I was riffing, and then I was like, "Oh, this is not a full joke. Why is this on TV?" Anyways, I'm still not over that. But yeah, I was at that venue like 4 months before the taping, and they played the first album I ever saw them play, and I'm so embarrassing. I literally started the mosh pit. I ran in, and I was like, "Let's go!" And I'm like, "What am I doing?" I went with actually, I think comedian Dave Ross went with me, and I was like, I'm going in. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm going in the pit. And then he's like, I won't. And then literally, this band is so good. 10 minutes later, I look over and Dave's like, this fucking rules. I'm like, yeah, man. And then we were the oldest people by far in the pit. But it was very fun.
It's funny because I feel the same way when I go to bands that I like that I used to, remember going to, years ago and getting in the pit. And I still, to this day, like, think it's the greatest thing ever, to jump into a mosh pit and mix it up with a bunch of 19-year-olds.
It's like, it really, I honestly highly recommend to anybody, go in a pit and just shove a teen and then just walk out. You feel amazing after. Because they can't do anything. They don't know it's you. And then, like, I'm talking, like, I'm shoving kids hard. Like, they're falling right over. And I'm like, I'm in pain for days after. But just seeing that one loser with a mohawk just fall flat in his face and me just walk out, it feels great.
Nick, didn't you do that? Didn't you do that recently?
So last year we went, my buddies and I went to a Hatebreed concert in New Haven, Connecticut, when they were here at the College Theater. And one of my buddies, we're all adults now. We're like 32. Most of them are married with kids. And my one buddy goes into the pit like the whole night. He's a big dude. He's like 6'3", he's 280. He's throwing people around. And by the end of the night, he gets out and he's like, so you could tell he's just like beat to shit. And he's like, let's go home. And then the next morning it's Easter. And there's a video of him bottle feeding his little 8-month-old daughter. And he just has a huge black eye. He said there's a video and he's like, I was like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, dude, got to be up for the kids though the next day. But he was fucked
That's
up for like a
so
week.
funny.
I stay away from the
Oh,
pit.
he probably
I'm like,
couldn't
I'm
walk.
good. Yeah, no, he was
Yeah,
like
no, it's
limping
not.
out.
Yeah,
He was limping out of the place, and he's like, the concert ended, and he's like, all right, let's go home. It's like, okay.
that's so funny.
That is amazing. So
Yeah, your body cannot do those things anymore, and like you really think you can at the time. And then I literally pulled like something. Like I think I split the disc so I was like limping for a week. I'm like, well, this wasn't worth it.
Exactly.
Like I act
What-
like I can, but I can't.
That's what basically his wife said to him before he left. She was like, listen, you know you have to be up at 6 tomorrow, right? He's like, yeah, I know. I'm aware. I understand, but he was a wreck.
That's so funny.
So let's talk quickly about well, not quickly, but let's talk about your album that came out a year ago that is now available on pink vinyl.
Yes. So I'm Not Well came out March, I believe, March last year, and it like I've never had merch or anything before. Like again, 8,000 years in comedy. So this was like the one thing I've always wanted was a vinyl record, and I really liked this album. I was really proud of it, and I put a lot of time and you put hours and hours into fucking getting these jokes exactly how you want them. And I was kind of mad at myself because I only did one recording. And any comics listening, you should definitely 100% do 2 recordings when doing an album. My first album I recorded, Hot and Hungry, I did 3 recordings because the first 2, the guy did not record the sound in the audience.
Huh.
So that was a nightmare. Oh yeah, that was really hard to bounce back from. But yeah, so I did this in 1, which I shouldn't have. But anyways, I'm proud of it, and I like the way it looked, like aesthetically, and I still say I'm Not Well all the time, and I've always wanted vinyl. Like I collected them as a kid, and I like just putting on a vinyl. Even though I've never really listened to a comedy album myself. Like I've listened to some, but I've never sat down and listened to a whole album. Now I'm like, well, I guess I can't listen to vinyl. That sounds weird as hell. But yeah, I think it sounds good. I gave it like a little sample test listen to upstairs. It's pretty cool. I think it's pink, so I'm pretty pumped up with that because it just looks fucking cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. When I saw that, I'm like, holy crap! I'm going to buy one. But I can't even remember the last comedy album that I've actually seen someplace that's come out on an album. Like
Yeah.
I can't, obviously back in the day, it was all albums, right? I mean, everything was albums. I can't remember a comedy. I can't even, like, I'm record stores all the time, or was. I can't even put my finger on the last comedy album I've seen on a vinyl that's, a new comedian. Like new
shows how old I am.
No, I mean new being like last 20 years. I have no idea.
Well, probably because they make no fucking sense.
Right.
Like merch wise, I'm like, what am I lug around a fucking suitcase of vinyls? I'm like that's stupid. And now I have to like ship them to other people. So I'm like, well, I'm not making any money. And they also are kind of expensive to print. So
did you do it? You did it yourself?
At my record label and and then I was supposed to get a deal and kind of got all out of whack. I don't really know what happened. Anyways, I need this album.
Buy the record.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, because I can have to ship some of them home and just have them in my car, I guess, whenever I'm driving to any show ever for the remainder of my life.
You'll be sitting in your trunk in front of the Comedy Store or the Improv or wherever, just selling records.
Yeah, like a homeless slob. Yeah.
You're gonna have to get a trench coat. You need a trench coat.
Oh, I will. And I'll wear nothing underneath, but the record's glued to my obese skin after this fucking quarantine is over.
That's funny. I mean, you get a record and a peep for $35.
Yeah, I mean, you're not peeping that much. I'll tell you what, I'm having the best hair of my life, like head hair, but everything else is really bad. The body's bad. It's one of those you get out of the shower and you close your eyes or hope the mirror is not there anymore. Because I have not looked at my naked body. And nobody else is either. So it's not like it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm hiding from somebody else. But like, I can't even like send like nudes right now. Like some guy asked me for a pic and I was like, okay, we're going into the archives, buddy. We are back in 2016 for this tit pic. I'll tell you that. You ain't getting a quarantine pick, that's for sure. Everything's quite swollen at the moment.
Someone should make a coffee table book out of quarantine nudes, like befores and afters.
Yes, they should start it, and nobody will show their face because everyone's a big fat idiot right now.
Nick, you should jump on that.
Good idea. I think I'm gonna do it. I've been eating like shit too. It's bad, man.
It's hard. Like it's really hard to find the motivation, not only to like try to be creative during all this, because like I'm feeling like shit, so I'm trying to be funny and I'm on the move sometimes, and then to also go for a fucking 500 jogs or do all these online, like people are like sending me online Zoom classes or dance classes. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Jump around my old childhood bedroom like a fucking fat idiot? Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't understand. It's too much.
I feel you. It's been like, it's, you know what it is too, is it's almost like you're just eating and like drinking and just out of boredom. It's straight up boredom.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not like, I'm not like craving shit. I'm not like thinking about like, oh, I should eat that. Like, it's just like, man, I'm bored. I'm gonna have a drink or something to change, whatever you're doing. It's just boredom.
Well, plus the weather's been so shitty so far. I mean, you're probably in the same weather. Maybe you're not, that we are down by New York City. Like,
true,
there's been like 2 nice days in the last.
Today's beautiful.
2
Oh yeah,
weeks.
no, it's been dog shit.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. That doesn't help.
Like, it was
much.
nice yesterday, and it's like kind of nice today, but it's like out of nowhere, some cold ass wind and like chokes you. I'm like, well, I'm not going outside. It sucks.
Fucking blows.
Steph, when was the last time you performed before the virus?
Shit. I think it was. Right when it kind of was like about to go crazy, I was about to go to Saskatchewan for the Juno Awards. Do you guys know what the Juno Awards are?
Either like the Canadian Grammys.
Yes. So my stupid album is nominated for a Juno Award for Best Comedy Album of the Year. Which did I win? I don't know. They canceled them. So they canceled the Junos as I was en route.
Wait a second. Wait.
Route to the fucking thing.
Wait. So they canceled them. Are they not going to tell anyone who won the awards?
I guess not. There's been no updates, and it's been almost 2 months.
That's bullshit.
It's actually fucked. Yeah, they're like still figuring it away because they talked about maybe doing like an online thing, which everyone was like, yes, we just want to fucking know because we've been waiting long enough as is now. And then someone said there's a rumor about maybe combining the awards next year. I'm like, well, that sucks. 2 people gonna walk up at the same time. Like, whatever. I don't know. I should just be happy that I'm nominated because I really didn't think I was going to be. But yeah, I was en route. Anyways, long story short, Vancouver. I guess it was right before I was doing a gig one-off there, and then so it was, yeah, I guess so, almost 2 months ago exactly, I think. Right when it started, before it went like crazy, before any lockdown happened.
Right. And you have your own
so
show
I was
in LA,
on St. Patrick's Day.
right? Like you have your own. Is it a monthly show or weekly show in Los Angeles?
Yeah, me and Daniel Webb do a monthly at the Virgil. Yeah, so that it wasn't that. Yeah, I did some weird show. I think I did like a pretty cool alt show in Vancouver. There was like 100 people, and I was pretty buzzed, and it was fun. But that's all I remember. Yeah, and then before that, I had like my last show in LA. Thank God I had one more good one. I just got put on Development at the Comedy Store, which is great time. Perfect. Oh, I mean, sure. You try for years and you can't even do it. But I ate shit so badly. Like, it was probably one of the worst sets I've had in 10 years. Like, I'm talking like it was a bringer show, and I don't think I got even half a laugh, to the point where like I was like putting the mic in the stand, and then they played me off.
No.
Like, it was bad, and I was like, oh, this is comedy now. And then hell broke loose.
Why do you think you did? Why do you think you had such a rough set?
I don't know. Like, the bringer shows are weird because it's a very eclectic mix of people. So the front row was like a couple who were probably in their like mid 70s and were just like repulsed by everything I said. And whenever like I could see people getting viscerally grossed out by me, I go further because I get so annoyed at them. I'm like, oh, you hate that? Well, then I'm going to really make you hate me. And then I just go further into gross land for no reason. And then then I was yelling at the crowd for not liking me. And then as soon as they started playing me off, I flipped out. So I was like, well, now I'm mad at the people running the show. Like, the whole thing was really fucked up. And I was like, oh, I'm never gonna get booked there again anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Damn.
So
It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I'm still not over it, clearly.
So they're not. That's how that works. That you don't think that they'll bring you back anytime soon.
No, I think they will. I don't think, because I think, because you do. People can be in development for years, or people can get asked to leave too. It's not like you're passed. It's
Right.
like you're en route to maybe being considered to being passed.
Got it.
So it's not like one show I do is going to make them like take me off that. But like, it just didn't feel like a good fucking start. I'm like, oh, this is a lot of comics' fucking dreams is to get their name on the wall, and then my first show being en route to that was just absolute dog shit.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to chuckle.
I know it's fine. It's hilarious now. I hadn't been played off. I don't think my whole life too. like I've never had the music come on like a fucking like speech at the Oscars. I'm like, this is crazy. And I maybe went over like 20 seconds. Like it wasn't like I was. When I bomb, I don't run the light. I want to get the fuck out of there. Like I'm not like, oh, you hated that? Let me do 15 more. Like when comics are bombing, I'm like, get off. Like why are you even doing your time? Get the hell off the stage. No one likes it.
Yeah.
I feel you. So what do you think? We've been asking a lot of comedians this, but what do you think's next for comedy? Like, do you think that people are going to be a little nervous to get back into the clubs with a bunch of people, or you think people are going to be so bored out of their mind they're going to be like, fuck it, I'm ready to do something?
I think it's going to be the latter. Yeah, I think people are going to be like, let's do this, but maybe wear masks out and stuff still. I feel like people have just been stuck inside for so long that, they're going to need something. But I don't know if clubs are going to open up. Like, that's the issue, too. It's like, well, they need something, but what the hell are they going to get?
Yeah.
Like, I was asked to do this, like, outside festival in Portland. I think it's in, what do you say, end of July. I'm like, but is that even going to happen? Like, I get it because it's outside. It might be different and people are camping and stuff, but Lord knows.
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
I would hope.
I follow it pretty closely because, besides me and Nick doing the podcast, we run a club out here in Connecticut that we started with a couple other guys late in the fall. And, so we're trying to follow it pretty closely and seeing what kind of hints you can get from the governors and all these coalitions of states and stuff. And, it seems like every single day they're getting closer to telling us something about what's going to open and when, right? So like every day out here in New York, it literally, they say something like, we're 5 days away from making a decision on being able to go to the doctor, right? So I'm kind of hopeful that by, early summer, most nightlife places that are, not massive clubs or, out big sporting events will have some flexibility to open, even if it's on a limited basis. I saw that in Tennessee today, restaurants and stuff opened with 25% capacity allowances for the next few weeks. So I think that's
okay.
Yeah, so it seems like, logically that's where stuff will go. And, maybe by the fall, it's back to normal capacity if people are willing to come out. And I think people will be willing to come out.
I think people will be willing to come out, especially people like New Yorkers have been like, you guys are stuck inside. Like, it must be scary. Like here, I can go for walks and avoid people. And like at night, take my dog for a walk at 10 p.m. I don't see a single person outside. Like people are in their homes sleeping, or I guess I'm a bit outside of downtown Toronto, so like not as populated, but still, it feels like people are staying in and not having a problem with it here.
Yeah. I mean, we live in the suburbs too, so it's, you can go out and do things and stay away from mass amounts of people. And, but in Manhattan, there's no way to do that. You got to go to work. You have to be on the subway. You got to be on a bus. You can't walk everywhere. People who live in the outer boroughs that have to come into Manhattan to work, they have no choice, right? So, there's going to have to be something you can do, right? I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world if you got to wear a mask for a little bit each day.
Yeah, seriously.
Cover up some of those faces, right, Scopoletti?
Although doing shows...
Oh, man, I love hiding my double chin.
Doing shows, if we did like shows and the whole audience was in masks, that would be fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like that would be strange.
Oh, big time. Because you can't see or hear anyone laughing.
Yeah, be really weird. I don't know how that's going to go.
It's like that show, The Masked Singer, right? Except it's the reverse.
I hate that fucking show with a passion. I don't know why people like it. my thing is like, once the mask comes off, I'm still like, well, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
I watched the show for an hour and I'm like, I've never seen that person or heard the name in my whole life.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, that show definitely has an effect on people, and I think most of it is they fucking hate that show, which I don't understand.
I hope so.
Like, I don't. It doesn't bother me either way, but I think it's funny, the reaction, like, I can't stand that show. It's the worst ever. And they have a tour. I just saw on a billboard that there's a masked singer like tour. Yeah.
That's upsetting.
But like, that makes no sense. Like, I don't know, whatever.
That's very upsetting.
Anyway, so what, we usually ask people what's on tap, but I think we kind of know what's on tap for everybody.
Just waiting for.
What do you mean?
Well, we're obviously what's in what's in the immediate future for everyone is pretty much the same. It's just a matter of when people can get out again. How often were you going up in LA? Like when you were home in Los Angeles?
I was doing pretty good. I would say 4 or 5 times a week.
Right.
Minimum.
In which places?
Yeah, I was doing.
Besides the Virgil?
Mostly the Virgil. Actually, there's a lot of independent shows there. I do a lot of East Side shows, so like weird loft shows, and like it was a very, very big mix.
Right.
Like there was never it was very, very mixed. And I was hoping that I was going to get to do clubs more now, but it was very like a lot of backyard, a lot of shows that I should say no to. I have a really big problem saying no. And then I get there and it's literally one man like jerking off in the dark corner. I'm like, why am I here? Why am I doing this?
So you have seen Louis C.K. So that guy on Tinder wasn't completely
It was me. He was right. He was right.
Have you done that hostel in Santa Monica?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of that?
And then it was a lot, and then the person who runs it I had a very bad encounter with at another show, so I fucking hate that show now.
Oh boy.
I don't care if he's listening. It was insane. When other comics make fun of like other comedians right after they go on stage, it should be frowned upon. Like I did this joke, one of my classic jokes about this doesn't matter what the joke was, about the soup diet. So the guy who runs the show goes up after me, and the guy in the front row is still laughing. He's like, "What's so funny?" He's like, "Oh, the last girl, her joke." He's like, "I don't know. I wasn't listening."
Oh boy.
And I literally was standing there. I turned around and I'm like, "Well, you just got yourself banned from every fucking show I've ever done in my entire life." It was insane. I'm sure they don't remember it. I would love them to listen to it right now because he has asked to get on my show and he will not get a reply because I'm still angry over it. Anyways, am I bitter? Yes, I am.
You should send him soup like that. Just send him some soup.
Send him soup. Remember when you shit talked me right in front of my face? That show's strange. But then that was another one of the shows where I'm like, well, no one understands English, so why am I here?
Yeah.
Like, no offense, they can't say English, but I'm like, my comedy is hard. I mean, I guess it kind of translates because I'm pretty much all act outs anyway, so people are just laughing at like a fucking clown. But it was shows like that where I'm like, oh, I'm driving to Santa Monica in traffic and then back, and then I've gone for 3 hours, and I come home and I'm like, oh, I just spent however much money on gas, and I feel angry now because none of my jokes.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of shows like that where I'm like, what the hell's the point of this? And I've also, again, doing it for so long where I'm like, I don't get anything off of just like running my jokes now. Like, if I have something new, like I don't get anything off it by just saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Like unless it's doing well or I'm learning something from it, I'm just getting pissed off.
Yeah, no, I was curious because I had a friend that did that room one night. So I was like, yeah, I'll come down and check you out in Santa Monica. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, but at the same time, no. I mean, I think we were the only people. I was me and like 3 of my other friends that spoke English. So there's these comedians doing their jokes to people that can't really understand them. So all the laughter is just like nervous, weird laughter, weird places in the jokes.
Yeah. And then you're trying to do crowd work, but it's not working because you don't. It's a very strange. There's so many shows like that in LA. There's so many shows where it's like, why would you ever think there should be a show here?
Yeah. Like
people eating a full 4-course meal. Then there's me. Hello, hi, I'm talking now. And everyone's like, what? There's no light even on the person. She's in she's behind a fern. Like I don't know why. There's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I ran one of those shows. I ran me, Caleb Simon, and Troy Walker ran a show called Skits right off of Skid Row on a patio downtown LA, and literally homeless people would walk through and ask for money. And one guy hated me so badly, he'd come up every time and go, "Yo, that fucking cunt going up again?" I go, "Yes, I am." And he'd go, "Fuck," and then he'd walk away every Tuesday night. And I was like, why are we? But one homeless guy loved Caleb so much. He'd be like, "You go up tonight, man? I'm going to listen." I'm like, "Yeah, you're going to listen to me. You're 10 because it's 30 feet away from the stage." And by stage, I mean corner of a gross patio that had so many rats.
Nice.
I'm part of the problem. I really am part of the problem here. That show is no longer happening, thank God. But
No.
it was fun for a bit.
That's fucking hilarious. My God. I love that. You're kidding. Just a homeless guy was like, "Oh, she going up again?" Fucking...
He hated me so bad. It was actually really funny. Like, I've never seen somebody hate. Can you remember me? He'd come up and they'd see him look at me and he'd go, "Fuck you." And I'm like, "You know I'm going to be here every Tuesday. Like, I don't know what you want me to do." And I just pictured him in his tent, like, so mad, like, trying to plug his ears when I was on stage, like, just getting pissed off.
That's funny. Getting railed by the
which is quite
homeless guys.
I don't know why.
Yeah, the show was
it's
bad.
killing-
It was a very bad show.
Nick's dying to do a show in front of the homeless.
Yeah, totally.
It's skitsbooking@gmail.com.
Beautiful.
He's on a plane first thing tomorrow. We're Monday to get there
Can't
for
wait.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Ah, man.
So, I mean, I'm tripping on my words. So, after you did the ringers, like, did you see any boost lift out of that, or is it kind of all moot because there's nothing to do?
I guess kind of like it was. It's hard to see. There's just also to me feels like there's so much happening. That some people have late night spots. Some people have so many other things. It's hard to see if anything. I think it was helping me get booked in other shows. Like more people reaching out to me and knowing, I guess, who I was. And I was going to do a New York run. But it's like I feel like all momentum has now stopped. I mean, of course it has for everybody, but it was like, it's hard to get an American credit as a Canadian, and that was like a pretty big one, I thought.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's very hard for my style of comedy to get on late night because it's fucking filthy and nobody wants it. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm also working on a one-woman show, and I was going to pitch it to Edinburgh. So that everything kind of like, I don't know where I stand or what is happening when this is over. I guess I'm like still trying to pitch stuff now. Like me and my sketch partner are pitching a sketch show in Canada just because we're like, well, let's try to do something because people are still accepting pitches right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to like do anything I can, but I don't know. It feels like everything is like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I also like everyone's comedy to me is going to be so fucking boring after this.
Right.
So quarantine, huh? Like, and I'm like, now this reminds me of exactly what happened when Trump got elected. Everyone did Trump jokes for like 3 years.
I know.
And now it's like, oh, great. Now we all have this for another fucking 3 years.
Yeah, that's the one thing I keep thinking about too is like all these shows. You're like, so quarantine, the virus, and everyone's gonna be talking. It's like, Jesus Christ, can we just like move on? I don't want to hear about this.
Yeah, like how exactly? It's like I'm trying to anything I like do online here. I'm trying to like not do about quarantine. I'm trying to do actual jokes or like it's hard not to like 'cause that's all you're fucking thinking about. But I don't know. I feel like everything's going to be it's going to be a weird transition back in however it will like take place.
Yeah. I mean,
for comics and for clubs,
there's not going to be any shortage of quarantine jokes, but at least the good ones, the smart ones, they'll find their way through. It's going to be all the hacky, shitty ones that you can hear like over and over and over again that are basically just different versions of the same joke.
Yeah.
It's going to drive people crazy.
Yes, it can.
But anyway, so this was fun.
It was. Talking to two. I was like, "Do you want to Zoom?" And I was like, "Oh, that's even weirder. I'm just staring at people." I don't know. Zoom is weirding me out. I don't know where to look. Everyone also what's so funny on Zoom, everyone's just looking at themselves. You can see everyone just staring at their own reflection. I'm like, everyone's so fucking stuck up.
It is weird. What I can say is I kind of wish you would have Zoomed, because me and Nick are on Zoom so we can see each other while we're doing this. And if you,
I said I would have, but I just felt I also have a sun allergy, and I sat outside the other day for 2 hours, and now my lips are swollen and blistered. So I didn't really want people to see those.
wow, that sounds.
I can send you a personal photo if you want.
That would
really
be
get.
That would be awesome. We'll superimpose it into the Zoom. But what I was going to say is Nick, as he's mentioned, is a personal trainer. So he's been on this Zoom with me in different levels of shirtlessness.
Well, now I'm missing out on this. What the hell? What the heck? Why wouldn't I get in on this?
He's been flexing for like 45 minutes. So what he doesn't know is I've been taking like 100 screenshots. So they're going to be my.
I'm very upset I missed this.
They're going to be my Tinder profile in about my Grindr profile in like 15 minutes. Anyway, this was a lot of fun.
I wish I knew now. Now I feel bad.
Well, I'll send
yes, it was. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Please do.
Before we split, where can people find you?
I'm at Steph Tolev on Instagram, Steph Toilet on Twitter, and if you're on TikTok, get on Steph Toilet on TikTok. I'm making a real splash.
Yeah, TikTok is where it's at these days. We'll all follow you. We'll make sure everyone follows you, and then your website too.
Yeah, go to the website, buy my album. You can there's no like album sale thing. I don't know how that works. So just email me and I'll be an old fashioned woman and just send it to you via post. In the post, it's a pink album. It's vinyl. You need it. You do need it. All right. Thank you very much. And we'll definitely do this again. Great. Thanks for having me. Stay safe. Take care. Be healthy. Okay. Bye. You too.
Bye, Steph.
Okay, bye.